Welcome to US Numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare state quarter dollar coins, those ordinary-looking coins that could actually be worth a fortune. From minting errors to low mintage surprises, these hidden gems might be sitting in your pocket right now. Stay tuned as we uncover the most valuable state quarters that every collector should. Top 1 today, we're talking about a small but mighty coin that might just change the way you look at your spare change. We're going to dive into the incredible tale of the United States 2000 New Hampshire State Quarter, a coin that's not only rich in history but could be hiding in plain sight with a jaw-dropping value. So, before you cash in those quarters for a quick snack or drop them into a vending machine, you might want to double-check, because one of these could be worth far more than 25 cents. And I mean far more. Let's start with a bit of background. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the 50 State Quarters program, an ambitious and wildly popular initiative to release quarters representing each of the 50 states. It was a way to celebrate American heritage, geography, and culture, and millions of Americans became collectors almost overnight. In the year 2000, New Hampshire's state quarter was released. And wow, what a design it had! This quarter features a beautifully etched depiction of the Old Man of the Mountain, a naturally formed rock profile that once jutted out from a cliff in the White Mountains. Beneath it are the words, "Live free or die," New Hampshire's bold and iconic state motto. These powerful words resonate with the American spirit of independence, and they give the coin a personality that few others can match. But here's where it gets even more exciting: what looks like an ordinary coin might actually be an extraordinary treasure. You see, not every 2000 New Hampshire quarter is created equal. While millions were minted for general circulation, a very small number were struck with errors that make them incredibly rare and extremely valuable. Let's talk about some of these fascinating minting errors. Point 1: of the most sought-after varieties is the off-center strike, where the design is visibly misaligned on the coin's surface. This usually happens when the blank planchet isn't properly seated in the press. Even a slight off-center strike can increase a coin's value, but in extreme cases, it can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Another rare error involves the double die. This occurs when the coin is struck more than once in slightly different positions, resulting in a doubling effect on the text or imagery. On the New Hampshire quarter, collectors keep an eye out for doubling in the words, "Live free or die," or in the details of the Old Man of the Mountain. If you've got one of these, you're holding a rare piece of minting history. There are also clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin appears to be missing, usually due to a flaw in the punching process. These odd-shaped quarters are extremely collectible, especially when the clipping doesn't damage the main design elements, but perhaps the most valuable are the transitional errors, coins that were mistakenly struck using a different metal composition or planchet from another denomination or year. These kinds of mistakes are exceedingly rare and often slip past quality control. When they're discovered by sharp-eyed collectors, they become instant legends in the numismatic world. So what makes this coin so appealing to collectors? It's the perfect mix of symbolism, history, and rarity. The New Hampshire quarter represents the rugged beauty and fierce independence of the state. When you pair that with a rare minting error, it's like lightning in a bottle. Suddenly, you have a coin that's not just worth collecting, but one that could be worth a fortune. Imagine holding in your hand a simple state quarter and realizing it's one of only a few in existence with a specific error. That thrill, that possibility, is exactly what makes this hobby so exciting. It's not just about value, it's about the chase, the discovery, and the stories behind each piece of metal. Now, I know what you're all waiting for. What could a 2000 New Hampshire state quarter be worth if it has one of these ultra-rare errors and is in pristine, uncirculated condition? Well, brace yourself, because the most valuable examples of this coin have been reported to sell for as much as $72,000. Yes, you heard that right. $72,000 for a single state quarter that someone else might mistake for pocket change. So, the next time you get change at the store, don't be too quick to toss those quarters into a jar. Take a close look. Top 2: we're turning our attention to a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but trust me, it's anything but. We're diving deep into the world of the 2002 Louisiana State Quarter, a tiny piece of American history that might just be sitting in your pocket, and could be worth a fortune. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about a 25-cent coin from Louisiana? Isn't it just another part of the 50-state quarters program? Well, yes, and no. While millions of these quarters were struck by the U.S. Mint and entered everyday circulation, a select few have unique features and rare errors that transform them into collector's gold. Let's rewind a bit. In 2002, the United States Mint released the Louisiana quarter to celebrate the state's rich cultural heritage. The design is a beautiful tribute to the Louisiana Purchase of 1803, the monumental deal that doubled the size of the young nation. The reverse side of the coin features an outline of the state, a trumpet with musical notes symbolizing Louisiana's jazz legacy, and the inscription, Louisiana Purchase. It's a design that blends history, culture, and American pride in one compact coin, but here's where it gets exciting: most of these coins are worth face value, yes. But hidden among them are a few rare varieties and error coins that have collectors buzzing. These are the quarters that bring excitement to the hobby, and big value to the lucky few who find them. So, what makes some 2002 Louisiana quarters so rare and desirable? Let's start with one of the most intriguing types of errors: off-center strikes. When a coin isn't perfectly aligned in the minting press, the design appears off-center, sometimes dramatically so. If a Louisiana quarter has this error and still shows most of the design and date, it's considered very rare. Depending on how severe the strike is, collectors will pay handsomely for one in great condition. Then there are double die errors, a favorite among error coin collectors. These occur when the coin is struck more than once with a slight misalignment. On the Louisiana quarter, doubling can be seen in the words, numbers, or even the fine details of the musical notes or trumpet. These double impressions give the coin a shadowy, almost ghost-like appearance, and their rarity can make them extremely valuable. Another eye-catching error is the clipped planchet, where part of the coin appears to be missing due to a flaw in the punching process. It might look like a bite was taken out of the coin, and while it may seem like damage, this is actually a mint error, and a rare one at that. Combine this with a clean, uncirculated condition, and you've got something special on your hands. And we can't forget the elusive transitional errors: coins struck using the wrong metal composition or a planchet meant for another year or denomination. While rare, these mistakes have happened, and when they do, they can turn a humble state quarter into a serious collector's prize. Now, here's what makes all of this so thrilling for coin enthusiasts. Most people handle dozens of coins every week and never stop to look. But collectors know, sometimes, the rarest coins are hiding in the most unexpected places. That's the beauty of this hobby. It's part history, part mystery, and a whole lot of excitement. That if you're just getting into coin collecting, here's the advice: always check your change. Get a magnifying glass. Learn the signs. Because sometimes, that seemingly ordinary Louisiana quarter could be anything but ordinary, and if you're a seasoned collector, you already know the joy of finding something rare, a coin that breaks the mold, tells a deeper story, and stands out in a sea of sameness. That's what the 2002 Louisiana quarter has become to the lucky few who found one of these rare error varieties. Now, I know what you're all waiting for: the big reveal. What's the potential value of a rare, error-filled Louisiana quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition? Well, hold on to your hats, because some of the rarest examples of this coin have been valued at as much as $72,000, yes, $72,000 for a single state quarter that most people would overlook. That's the magic of numismatics. A little knowledge and a sharp eye can turn a pocket full of change into a life-changing discovery. So, the next time you get a handful of coins back at the grocery store, don't be so quick to spend them. You never know, one of them might just be a Louisiana quarter with a story, a rare error, and a value far beyond what's stamped on the surface. Top 3. We're diving into the fascinating world of one of the most overlooked but incredibly powerful modern coins in U.S. history, the 2019 Lowell, Massachusetts quarter. Now, before you think this is just another one of those recent quarters that pass through your hands every day, listen closely. What seems like an ordinary 25-cent coin might just be hiding a secret. A rare error. A unique variation. And in one shocking case, it could be worth as much as $80,000. Let's rewind and explore where this coin comes from. The Lowell Quarter was released in 2019 as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a series that celebrated national parks and historic sites across all U.S. states and territories. This one represents Massachusetts, and more specifically, the city of Lowell, which played a crucial role in America's Industrial Revolution. The design on the reverse side of the coin is truly a work of art. It shows a mill girl standing at a power loom, gazing out the window at a massive textile mill with a tall clock tower in the background. This is more than just a pretty picture, it's a powerful nod to the workers, particularly women, who shaped the industrial and cultural fabric of 19th-century America. But while the history is inspiring, the real excitement for collectors comes in the form of rarities and errors that make some Lowell quarters incredibly valuable. You see, while millions of these coins were produced for general circulation, a small number came out of the mint with errors, mistakes that turned them from everyday change into collector's gold. One of the most coveted errors is the double die. This occurs when the coin is struck twice, slightly misaligned, creating a doubling effect on the lettering or images. On the Lowell quarter, this can sometimes be seen in the intricate textile machine details or the windows of the building. Spotting one of these can make your coin instantly more valuable. Another prized error is the strike-through error, where something like a piece of thread or cloth got between the die and the planchet during minting, leaving behind an odd, unexpected mark. These strike-throughs are incredibly unique, no two are the same, making them highly collectible. Then there's the rare off-center strike, where the entire design is shifted away from the center of the coin. When this happens and the date is still visible, the coin becomes extremely desirable. The more dramatic the shift, the rarer and more valuable it becomes. There's also something known as the missing clad layer error. This is when the outer layer of the coin fails to bond properly, leaving one side a dull copper color while the other looks normal. A Lowell quarter with this error stands out instantly, and it's worth big money to the right buyer. Now, what makes the Lowell quarter even more thrilling for collectors is that it's relatively new. That means it's still out there in the wild. You could find one in your spare change, in a coin roll from the bank, or even at the bottom of a coin jar that's been sitting in your kitchen for years. It's a modern coin with an old soul, and a modern price tag to match. For passionate collectors, this is the kind of coin that lights a fire. It blends American history, rich design, and the thrill of the hunt. It's a reminder that even the newest coins can hide secrets, and the next big discovery might just be waiting in your pocket. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the real reason this coin has become the talk of the numismatic world. A rare, error-filled Lowell quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition has been reported to sell for as much as $80,000. Yes, you heard that right, $80,000 for a single quarter minted just a few years ago. That's the power of rarity, condition, and a little bit of minting mystery. So don't underestimate the coins in your daily change. The 2019 Lowell quarter might look like just another state or park design, but with the right error, the right condition, and the right buyer, it can be one of the most valuable coins in your entire collection. Top 4. We're heading to one of the most iconic and historic places in America, the Empire State itself, New York, as we explore the stunning 2001 New York State quarter. Now, don't let this quarter's age fool you. While it might only be a couple of decades old, and while millions were struck for circulation, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. In fact, under the right circumstances, this seemingly ordinary 25-cent piece could be worth more than a brand new luxury car, or even more than the average yearly salary. But before we reveal its potential value, let's take a moment to appreciate the story behind this remarkable coin. Released in 2001 as part of the legendary 50 State Quarters program, the New York quarter was the 11th design in the series. It was introduced to celebrate New York's admission to the Union, which happened way back in 1788. But what truly makes this quarter stand out is its powerful and symbolic design. The reverse side of the coin features the Statue of Liberty proudly standing before an outline of the state of New York. Radiating lines surround Lady Liberty, and superimposed on the map is a line tracing the Hudson River and Erie Canal, symbolizing New York's importance in trade and transportation. And across the top, the words, "Gateway to Freedom," are boldly inscribed, reminding us of the millions of immigrants who passed through Ellis Island in search of a better life. It's a design that speaks to liberty, opportunity, and American strength, a perfect tribute to one of the most historically significant states in the country. But for collectors, it's not just the design that draws attention. It's the errors, the mintage anomalies, and the rare features that have made certain 2001 New York quarters worth an absolute fortune. So, what makes this particular coin so special for collectors? Let's talk about double die errors. These occur during the minting process when the coin is struck twice, but slightly out of alignment. On the New York quarter, this can lead to visible doubling in inscriptions like Gateway to Freedom or E Pluribus Unum, or even in the detailed lines around the Statue of Liberty. If the doubling is clear and dramatic, and the coin is in uncirculated condition, the value skyrockets. Another exciting variety is the off-center strike. In this error, the coin is misaligned during the stamping process, causing part of the design to be missing or pushed off to one side. The more off-center it is, while still showing the date and mint mark, the more valuable it becomes. Combine this with a clean surface and little to no wear, and you've got a major winner. Next, we have the clipped planchet error. This is when the coin is punched from a metal sheet but isn't fully formed, resulting in a quarter that looks like it's missing a bite from the edge. These mistakes are rare and highly collectible, especially when they happen on such symbolic coins like the New York quarter. There are also instances of the wrong planchet error, where a New York State quarter was mistakenly struck on a planchet meant for a different coin, like a penny or a dime. These transitional errors are like winning the coin lottery. Their rarity and uniqueness make them some of the most desirable coins on the market, and then, of course, condition is king. A 2001 New York quarter that has never been circulated, with mirror-like surfaces and flawless details, also known as a proof or MS-70 grade coin, already holds a premium value. But when combined with a mint error, that's when the real magic happens. What's truly incredible is how many people have handled these coins without realizing what they had. That's the thrill of coin collecting. You never know when a tiny detail could turn pocket change into a treasure chest. And with coins like the New York quarter, the line between common and rare is razor thin, hiding in plain sight. So if you've got a 2001 New York quarter sitting in a coin jar, a drawer, or even tucked away in a collection from years ago, now's the time to take a second look. Check the date. Examine the details. You might just have something special, because in the world of rare coins, it only takes one error, one variation, one perfect coin, to change everything. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, how much can one of these rare, error-filled, uncirculated New York quarters be worth? Well, brace yourself, because the most sought-after examples of the 2001 New York State quarter have sold for as much as $88,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin worth 25 cents in change could fetch $88,000 under the right conditions. That's the power of rarity, history, and an eye for detail. So the next time you get change at the store, don't just toss it into your pocket. Take a moment, examine each coin. Because sometimes, a little piece of metal holds a story, and a fortune. Top 5. We're talking about the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter, a coin with roots in American history, a breathtaking design, and in some rare cases, a value that will leave you stunned. Now, let's take a step back to the year 1999. That was the first year of the U.S. Mint's groundbreaking 50 State Quarters program, a series that would go on to become one of the most popular coin releases in American history. Millions of people began checking their change, hunting down state quarters, and even starting their first collections. Among those early designs, the Connecticut quarter quickly stood out. Why? Because of the tree. Yes, a tree, but not just any tree. The reverse of the Connecticut quarter features the legendary charter oak, a symbol deeply rooted in both the natural beauty and revolutionary spirit of America. This massive, centuries-old oak tree in Hartford, Connecticut, is said to have been the hiding place of the Connecticut Royal Charter in 1687, protecting it from being seized by the British Crown. That tree became a symbol of freedom, defiance, and independence, values that resonate deeply with American history. The design is intricate and full of character, showing the charter oak in all its sprawling glory. The detail in the twisting branches, the aged bark, and the natural flow of the design made this quarter one of the most beautifully crafted in the series. But while the artwork is incredible, what has really stirred excitement among collectors is not just the design, but the errors and rare variants that make some of these coins unbelievably valuable. Let's get into those. Point 1 of the most sought-after rarities in the 1999 Connecticut quarter is the double die error, where the coin was struck twice by the die, creating a ghostly doubling effect in the words or even on the detailed branches of the charter oak itself. When this kind of error happens on such a fine, detailed design, it's incredibly eye-catching, and very desirable to collectors. Another rare error is known as the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank, or planchet, is not properly aligned when it's struck by the die. The result is a coin where part of the design is shifted or even missing entirely. The more dramatic the error, and if the date is still visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. There are also clad layer errors, where the outer nickel layer is either partially or entirely missing. In these cases, you'll see a copper-colored surface on one or both sides of the coin, an immediate indicator of a minting mistake. Because the 1999 Connecticut quarter is so well known, collectors love finding these unique variants that break the norm. But wait, we're not done. Some of the most exciting errors include die cracks that form lines across the coin, often giving it a lightning bolt look across the tree or lettering. There are even reports of transitional planchet errors, where the coin was struck on a metal blank intended for another denomination or year. These are incredibly rare, and extremely valuable. Now, let's talk condition. A coin's grade, or how well preserved it is, can make a world of difference. A 1999 Connecticut quarter that's circulated and worn might only be worth face value. But a flawless specimen? A coin that looks like it just came from the mint, with sharp details, shiny luster, and no signs of wear? That's when things start getting serious. Combine that mint state quality with a dramatic error, and suddenly, you've gone from pocket change to a collector's dream. It's easy to dismiss a quarter from 1999 as too new to be valuable. But remember, rarity isn't always about age. It's about uniqueness. And in the world of numismatics, a unique error, a rare strike, or a mint condition find can transform a simple coin into a priceless artifact. So what's the takeaway here? Don't underestimate the coins in your change jar. Don't overlook that old state quarter tucked into a drawer or a coin book from your childhood. Because if you happen to have the right 1999 Connecticut quarter, with a significant mint error and in pristine condition, you could be holding something truly special. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for: how much could one of these rare and remarkable quarters actually be worth? Well, in the world of collectors, where rarity and condition are everything, one of these 1999 Connecticut quarters has been known to sell for as much as $95,000. That's right, $95,000. From a coin that originally cost just 25 cents. That's the power of hidden value, historical design, and minting mystery. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more rare and valuable coins, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to US Numismatics, and turn on the notification bell. You never know what treasures are out there, and next time, it could be your coin that we're talking about. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting.